Yo, this is Art the Architect with More Than a Haircut podcast. Tune in every Friday for new content. Definitely on Anchor as well as YouTube and on IG. Hit your boy up. It's More Than a Haircut.
So I was actually part of the very first e-commerce sportswear brand ever. And we were so far ahead of the time, it didn't work because people wasn't prepared and ready to use their credit of being at.
Click and link and
Hmm.
start to really, really germinate now and grow.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. So yeah, man, it's really interesting how that works. But a lot of that was the work of being at Reebok, leaving and going to Adidas. Leaving them after I left Adidas, I was actually part of the very first e-commerce sportswear brand ever. And we were so far ahead of the time, it didn't work because people wasn't prepared and ready to use their credit cards to buy things online. We actually started this brand, me and really close friends still, but some of my other business partners, we had this vision of starting a brand that you would literally go online, and it's going to sound normal, but we actually pioneered this. You go online, you see the product, you order it, and it's delivered to your house. Now, I think one of the things that was probably bad karma for us, because the athletes that we had when we started this brand was Shaquille O'Neal, Mike Piazza,
wow.
Rebecca Lobo, and Oscar De La Hoya. Now, all of those people I just named were in their championship mode at this time because the brand was actually ideated. It started some ideation in my spare time in 1998. It kind of got momentum in like 1999, and it was actually launched in 2000 when the dunk contest was in Oakland when Vince Carter won the dunk contest. That day he won the dunk contest is when we launched the brand.
For real. You know what I was
Yeah.
me and my homeboys in college, like when that man put his arm in, I was
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure, for
man,
sure.
I remember that. I remember that like
Yeah, yeah, and we was really excited because if you ever see the highlight, the clips that they show of when he won the dunk contest, they
shit.
always show Shaq. You remember that, right?
I'm
Well,
gonna
but
I'm gonna show you a video with
but when if you look at that again, Shaq has a Scully on, and the Scully says the name of our company on it, which was called Dunk.net.
wow.
So every time I see that clip, I think about the Dunk.net days, and and Shaq was represented, and he won the championship because that's when they started. The Lakers started winning championships, so he was wearing the shoes that we made from Dunk.net when he won the championship.
When he had the phone and stuff too.
This was during that era because
Okay.
by the time the phone thing came along, we had already started moving on to do some other things because
Okay.
it, it the brand actually became like a case study in the tech space because we were the first to do it. And it was funny because it was like a cold war. It was another company that was trying to do it, and the person who was doing it on the other company, I knew him because we both used to work at Adidas, and just through sheer coincidence, he left Adidas to start that, and I left Adidas to start that, and we literally got our products out there. I
At the
think we
same.
beat him. I think we beat him by like 1 week.
What?
So every time I would see him, I would be like, "Yo, we beat you," and he would say, "Yeah, but we lasted longer because their brand lasted longer than ours." And he's still my guy to this day.
Not in
And
love, man.
yeah, yeah. So eventually, I think that we didn't really look at some of the very important details because we saw that this was the future, and we
Mhm.
were right because it is the future
But it
because
was just
the future is
way,
actually
way
now.
ahead of time.
It was way we were too far ahead of time, and but it was cool, and I'm glad. I don't regret any of that at all. It was a
No, I
great
think it.
learning. It was
Yeah,
a
I think
great
it goes
learning
with the
experience.
experience.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So eventually, I was still married in those days,
Yeah.
and eventually, I was trying all these other entrepreneurial ideas, and my ex-wife was like, "Dude, like, you know, when you going? This is cool. You proved something, but when you going to like get a job?" So, so I kind, so I kind of returned to corporate
Uh-huh.
for a very brief period. It was only like 6 months. I actually came back into, and I had kids and everything, so you had to pay bills and all of that. So I
Yeah.
came back into corporate working at Skechers, and
Okay.
I was there for such a brief period. It's not even on my resume at all.
You can't even remember it.
I do. I
Yeah.
remember it really, really well, and I actually learned some things there too, because
Yeah.
their reputation in the urban community is not as strong as people as it should be.
Yeah.
but they know how to make money, and they
Sketches.
make money. Yeah,
I can
and
believe it.
yeah. So I mean, I learned some things, but I only was there for 6 months because that the culture wasn't for me.
Yeah.
What their goals were not for me.
Mm.
But I respected them a lot. They treated me okay while I was there.
Yeah.
And some of my friends had, because when Nike finally won the war against Reebok, because Reebok is really the only company that literally
Went
gave
ahead.
Nike a hard time. And all of the Reebok people ended up becoming almost like insurgents all over the industry. So a whole bunch of my colleagues from Reebok actually was working at Vans, and I went to Vans, and at Vans, I was part of that whole movement when it went away from just white dudes that are Southern California skaters to just becoming what Vans is
Bigger
today.
brand. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
It's
learned. So
real.
I
You
learned
know,
even more when I
my
was
daughter
there.
love Vans, man.
I know that's the and I was really fortunate to be part of the team that created that movement of it being outside of just being a skateboard brand. So,
Wow.
in terms of when I'm giving advice to people and helping them with branding and things of that nature, a lot of what I learned was when I was at Vans. Because when I got to Vans, they were just coming out of a struggle,
Uh-huh.
and a multi-year struggle, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And it just was everything just lined up. And we had a phenomenal leader. The dude who was the president of the company at this time is one of the best strategists I've ever met in my life. I was reuniting with a lot of my friends from Reebok, so it was really good to get back together because I left Reebok in '97 and I joined Vans in '04.
Okay.
So, and again, I always tell people the thing that's really important in whatever industry you get in, please network and please treat everybody the way you want to be treated. And
Mm.
when you don't work with people anymore, don't stop communicating with them,
Yeah.
because if they truly, truly was a friend, you're going to still talk to them whether you work there or not. And
Yeah.
you'll find out who your friends are and aren't when you leave and go someplace else, because they won't be in communication with you anymore.
No, that's real. I mean, it made me think about when I left Memphis. It's a cat I call he goes by Don Doozle. To this
Hmm.
day, he'll call. We'll talk like we were still working at Kroger's. To this
Yeah, there
day,
you go.